Stay tuned when we come back. We're off to Tallahassee to visit with Florida State's Parker Messick. Good stuff, Josh. Appreciate it. ACC's leader in ERA. He is slinging it. And we will talk with Parker next on Packer and Durham on ACC Network. Packer and Durham Thursday show rolls on. Roddy Jones in. And again, get the baseball vibe here at the halfway point. Parker Messick of Florida State, one of the best pitchers in the ACC. Maybe it's top left-hander with a 4-2 mark in league play, joins us. Roddy from Tallahassee. Parker, first of all, thanks for the time. Good morning. And you guys are out of school. Exams are over. This is baseball and more baseball from here on out, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, well, Parker, what's that like when you get out of school and you can focus on only baseball? How does that change the way you approach things? What does that allow you to do?
It takes away a whole nother just stress level that comes along with being a college athlete, and just it gives you more time to get your body right and prepare for each weekend series, and you even have more time when you have midweek games just to recover and not have to worry about that extra schoolwork. You can get some more film study in and more recovery work in.
Hey, Parker, take us through kind of what this year, I mean, we know last year was just unfortunate among other things and frustrating and disappointing. So how different has this been? Is this like real normal, even though it's still not as maybe as comfortable as we've become accustomed to in college baseball?
Yeah, as far as the season goes, all the rules and everything, it's felt like this is my first real season, I guess, so it's felt pretty normal that everyone's done a good job of keeping the season on track. It may be a little bit shortened and a different kind of season setup, but it feels like a real season, and we finally got things rolling, and they're doing a great job of making it pretty normal.
Parker, I want to touch on that a little bit because, like you said, you were on campus last year. The season was canceled. This is your first real season. But in between last year and this year, what did you work on? What did you go back to the toolbox to develop to make you so effective this season?
I definitely knew I was going to be a starter coming out of last year. I got a couple of bullpen roles. I think my longest outing was 3 innings, just being a freshman and working out of the bullpen. And what I really wanted to work on is getting my stamina up. So over quarantine, I really took the time, took it as an advantage to work on my body and boost my stamina, help me go longer in innings, throw a little bit harder, work on a new pitch. I kind of just developed every aspect of my game to that way I knew when I came in and had to fight for that starter role that I would be in the best possible shape and put myself in the best position to succeed.
Man, I say you've embraced the starter role. You got 4 games with 10 or more strikeouts, 91 and 62 and a third. Take us through working games and running the strikeout total up there. Is that kind of where you want to be in this process?
Yeah, I definitely want to be a high strikeout guy. I mean, that's just kind of a bonus to the game. The way I pitch is I really just try and pound the strike zone. I try and limit my walks, and those turn into Ks sometimes because you're just filling up the zone, and some hitters don't like a lot of strikes to be thrown at them all at once. So that's just part of my game, and I just try and pound the zone and work different pitches. Throw all my pitches for strikes and move in and out of the strike zone, and it's worked for me this year, so I'm going to continue doing it.
Well, Parker, not only have you been one of the best in overall strikeouts, but you're one of the best at getting strikeouts with guys looking. So I need to know, from a power pitcher, a guy who does it in multiple ways, what's better, when you get a guy struck out swinging or looking, and why?
I think it all depends on the hitter and the count and what they're looking for. And our pitching coach does a good job of changing looks each at bat and giving them a different pitch to look at, and maybe the same pitch just in a different location to change their eye levels and just confuse what they think's coming versus what they're actually about to be swinging at. And the more I can make my pitches all look the same out of my hand, the more likely I have a chance of them either freezing up on a pitch or swinging at something in the dirt.
And I was going to ask, Parker, is that the most difficult piece of this process, is throwing 2-3 different pitches from the same arm slot to try and make them all look like it's going to be the same?
Absolutely. I mean, that's tunneling is a big part of pitching, and that's probably one of the hardest things that people try and do. And if you can really do it right, it helps your game a lot. And trying to throw any of the 4 pitches or 3 or 4 pitches that pitchers have in any certain count for a strike and make it all look the same is definitely one of the harder parts of pitching.
Now, Parker, you guys are gearing up for a big series against Notre Dame. Obviously, Notre Dame, the team at the top of the Atlantic Division. What's been the message from Coach Martin going into this series? What's been the overall thing that he's been talking to you guys about?
It's pretty much the same speech every week. I mean, we know they're a good team, but we're going to go up there and play our baseball. We've played pretty good on the road this year. But I mean, nothing's going to change for us. We know they're a great team. We're a good team too, so we're going to go up there and give them our best ball, and hopefully it's a really good series.
Parker, we're having a hard time sorting this out. We were just talking about the segment before you joined us here. You've got great pitching on both sides. You got great hitting on both sides. What gives this weekend? I mean, do you almost have to kind of process that and move forward here? How does it play in your mind?
Yeah, I do know they're a good hitting team, but nothing's going to change on my end. I'm going to do film review the same way I do film review every week, and I'm going to pitch to my strengths, and they're obviously going to hit to theirs, and whoever comes out on top is going to. And I don't think I don't believe in changing the way I pitch just to accommodate for a team. So I'm just going to go out there and do my thing, and hopefully I can neutralize their pretty good offense.
Yeah. Well, the reason that you come to Florida State is to play in series like this and to go to the postseason and have success there. But coming into college for you, was it always Florida State? Was there any shot that you were going anywhere else, or as a guy from the state of Florida, was it always the Seminoles?
Growing up as a little kid, I didn't really have a college team. Sometimes I would actually cheer for the Gators, but once I found my home at Florida State, I was so happy that I chose to be here, and I actually ended up getting to pitch against the Gators freshman year, and that was my best game of my freshman year. So I'm glad I got to pitch against them and really embrace the role as a Nole.
I wanted to ask you about Matt Nelson. He's had a great year. Obviously, I know he catches you, but we've watched him at the plate. How good a job does he do at the other aspect of this? I mean, I think sometimes we get sidetracked by watching him hit home runs, and we forget about all the other important details he does in making your team good. Take us through working with him when you start and the relationship you guys have.
When I talked about me pounding the zone, Matt is a big contributor in helping me pound the zone. He steals a multitude of strikes. He makes some iffy pitches look so pretty, like they're right down the middle of the plate. He's a true captain on the field. I mean, he gives his body up for us. He'll drop and block for any pitch. I mean, he's always banged up after games, but you'll never see him miss a game. He's a true leader on the field. I mean, he makes me look like a lot better of a pitcher than I really am. The kid's a beast on both sides of the ball.
All right, Parker. When you guys are going inter squad, good on good. When you're pitching to guys on the opposing side, who's your least favorite hitter on your team to face in practice?
Believe it or not, lefty on lefty, Robbie Martin has my number. For whatever reason, I used to get him out freshman year, but this year he sees everything I have for whatever reason. I usually don't struggle versus I wouldn't say I struggle versus anybody except for Robbie in scrimmages, but he sure has my number.
I mean,
we were just watching the clip of the we were just watching the clip of the Carolina series. I mean, the lefty on lefty was a dust off. I mean, you were rolling against the lefties of the Tar Heels that Scott Forbes threw it there. I think he had 12 Ks against Carolina. So to find out that Robbie Martin's got you a little bit in the bucket is that's a little concerning, Parker. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's always shocked by that answer, but that kid can hit me. I don't know what to say. I think he had like 2, 3, 4 bombs off me, like in the early fall and early spring, just in inter squads.
Okay.
I think that means he's getting tipped off. I think that means he's
Ron.
paying someone in the dugout to tip your pitches. Honestly,
he might be. I don't
you've
know.
been too good against lefties, and it's a good thing that he plays for you guys, so you don't have to worry about it.
Seriously.
Hey, Parker, we ask one question on this show. Mark has a traditional question, and we pose it to every student athlete we have on Packer and Durham. In your time at Florida State so far, what's been the hardest class you've taken?
Oh, hardest class was definitely, I think it's macroeconomic theory. It was impossible. I could not grasp the knowledge of that class. I had to study countless hours for that one.
But you got through it.
Wasn't Pack an econ major? Wasn't Pack an econ guy at Clemson?
Yeah. Pack's econ at Clemson. We still got to get some sort of declaration on exactly what all that econ was
confirmation
he took in the 80s. But yeah, but Parker, did you got through the class? Bottom line is you survived, right?
I survived. Yes, sir. Yeah. I did.
Well,
attaboy.
I tell you what, you're having a great year. That's it. Survive in advance, Parker, just like the game, right? You appreciate it. All right. Big weekend series, all on ACC Network. We look forward to seeing Parker Messick on the bump this weekend. Thanks, Parker. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right. Florida State and Notre Dame. It's a big series of ACC baseball, and we got wall-to-wall coverage of the Irish and Noles for you this weekend right here on ACC Network. We get it kicked off Friday night, 6 o'clock. From South Bend. Saturday night is 7 o'clock, and Sunday's finale at noon. Pitching and hitting, all you want right there. And